Hey there guys, welcome back to Hursty Games and welcome back to our QPR career mode. If you're not all caught up, then make sure you go check out the playlist, get yourself caught up, and then of course welcome back to today's episode. Today, not too much to do other than obviously just cracking on with games. Going to try and get through at least 3, potentially 4 if I have time to film that many. But yeah, we went off last episode having a bit of a dip in form going out of the cup, losing in the league as well to Middlesbrough, which was a bit of a shame. But we got 3 games coming up. We got Sunderland away, we got Rotherham at home, and then Hull away. And potentially, if I can make it into the next month, which is a busy one, then I will certainly try to do so. But at the moment, still sat atop of the Championship table, which is exactly where we want to be. 13 points clear, which is absolutely mental, and only like 14 games left to play, so sitting in a very healthy position and coming up against a Sunderland that are very much struggling. 18 points from 32, very much the opposite of what they're achieving right now in the league. So without further ado, I think I'm just going to work my way to that game. If any emails or anything pop up, then I'll show you, but otherwise I think the plan is we'll just crack on. Okay, going into game number 1, nothing particularly happening between the intro and this moment here. So I thought, you know what, we'll just power straight into the first game up against another 5 at the back. But just before we jump in, we're very quickly going to hear from today's video sponsor. Do you need some more coins for your FIFA Ultimate Team? Then look no further than U7Buy. They're the cheapest and most reliable place to get your FIFA Ultimate Team coins. And if you use code HURSTY at checkout, you'll get yourself an extra discount. I want to say a massive thank you to U7Buy for sponsoring us. Don't forget that code HURSTY. Now let's get back to the video. Okay, with that all done and dusted, let's jump straight into it. Again, going to be a tricky one because, I mean, like I say, in real life, Sunderland have come up and have kind of reassumed their time up in the Championship. Hold on a second. Why is it showing? I mean, that just isn't Lyndon Dykes, let's be honest. I don't know what they're doing there. But regardless, again, this is hopefully going to be a game that, based on the career mode standings, we should by far be the favourites. Obviously, top of the table against a team right down there, fighting it and having a tricky time with it too. So hopefully we can come away with 3 important points, as I always say, and just try and, I'm going to say fix the form, because obviously we ended last episode with a win, but the last sort of 3 games were a little bit iffy. And I did remember to put Jones on the bench this time, so there is that. I think a bit of a tough time here. There's been a recent update. I'm literally filming this just after an update, and the game feels really weird. I am not a fan of this. For those who don't know, I normally play Ultimate Team on the PS4 version of the game because I think the online gameplay feels a lot smoother on the PS4. But I play my career modes on the PS5, and it feels very different. I don't know how I feel about that. But hold on a second. Hutton with an over-the-top ball didn't quite go where I needed it to, and it's going to go, sadly, the wrong way. Sunderland on the overlap here. Going to get it out to Sims. Sims going to play it across. Got Laird there back doing his defensive duties to stop this ball getting into the box. Sims is being well and truly pushed out here. Laird has done a really good job, not only winning the ball, but then keeping it and helping us play it out here. And now Field going to try and play it on to Willock, but I've lost out. And they're going to get this ball straight forward again. A poor pass, though, gives it to Rob Dickey, and we get to bring it out again. Let's try and get our own chance. Johansson bringing this ball forward slowly and just allowing Hutton to find a little bit of space in the middle of the park. It's going to be a good effort, but Patterson's going to be equal to it. It's an okay effort. I didn't really put enough behind it, I don't think. Sunderland with the ball forward, and plenty of players forward as well here. I've got to be careful not to let them sort of overload a little bit here and get some players in space. But they're going to be offside. You can see 30 minutes gone. Not too many chances to really shout about or show, and that's because not too much has really happened. It's been a lot of fighting for possession in the middle of the park and a lot of loose passes from our players and just kind of not great runs from their players, with our players being able to intercept or sort of just out-muscle in the middle of the park. But then kind of not too much going our way either here. But Field's going to get it into Linden. Linden's going to turn. I'm going to try a shot from the edge of the box, which maybe wasn't my smartest choice. Field out wide here to Willock. Willock now. Bit of a skill move. Going to try and get it into the box. Gets a corner from it just before half-time. Let's see if we can maybe create something. I'm going to try and give it to a left-footed here. Going to go to Captain Johansson. Going to aim middle of the box. It's going in to Willock, who's, I mean, not the shortest of players, but maybe not quite who I should have aimed at. But Ilias here. Lovely little fake shot. Going to play it to Johansson. Edge of the box, sorry, back to Chair. And I threw myself off with poor commentary and wasted the chance. And the last chance of the half could potentially go Sunderland's way if they're a bit quicker about it. Going to just work it into our half. The time well and truly gone now. But because it's the AI attacking, they will get the chance. And Seny Dieng with an absolutely huge save there just before half-time. Again, this is one of those chances that if it was me attacking, they wouldn't have given us the time to make the chance. But that is a huge save from Seny Dieng. Absolutely massive, and it needed to be. And the corner's going to come in. Stewart's going to be the player trying to get up to it. Dunn is going to get there first, so Field's going to bring it away, and that surely is going to be half-time. Again, not too much going on, ending with a bit of a flurry there with the best chance of the game by far, and it went Sunderland's way. So we just got to be a little bit careful. Just got to make sure that what we're doing is creating enough chances and not giving up silly chances like that. That was a silly one to give away. Again, I felt a bit unfortunate, really, because truth be told, that wouldn't have gone our way if it was down to if it was the other way around. The ref would have blown whistle for half-time way sooner than that. I think what we're going to do is carry on with what we've got. I don't see a reason to change it yet. I'm not hitting any panic buttons. I think Amos and or Howe will come on in the second half just for fresh legs in the middle of the field. But for now, I think we'll crack on. I don't see a reason to change things other than maybe second half go into like a 4-3-3, getting an extra man in the midfield. Because it's not that we're losing out in the midfield, but we're not creating an abundance of chances. And maybe just having that extra player in the middle of the park to just, win possession, keep possession a little bit better, have a little bit of a chance for tiki-taka and stuff. That might be the way forward, but that's not because we're not playing well. And obviously, I then lose a man up front when it comes to chances. So I've got to think about it. It's not a definitive change, but hold on a second here. Harvey Hutton winning that ball in a really good spot. I need Linden to get to the box. He does so eventually. Going to try and play it across to him. The chance is found and the goal is scored. Lyndon Dykes makes it 1-0. A very, very good bit of play from Harvey Hutton to win the ball, take it forward, just the pace to stay away from the defender, get it into the box. And it wasn't the best of passes. It has to be said. The defender maybe questions to be asked about number 5 there. But as it's played in, he kind of just gets wrong-footed. I'm not too sure who the player is, but Dykes, simple enough finish because the defender just swings and misses almost. His foot sort of buckles and goes the wrong way for it. So not really ideal for them, but it's a very, very, very good goal from our end of things. Very happy to see it find the back of the net because it needed to. It was a bit of a tricky one, but I'm going to take off field and bring on Amos, a pretty much a like-for-like change, and Ozzy's going to come on for Laird. We do have a week between games, so plenty of times for players to get their stamina back up, but a bit of rotation, I'm all about it anyway. So give Laird a few minutes to rest, give Field a bit of a chance to rest, Amos and Kakai on, and it's 1-0 to us. Oh, that's a really good through ball. Sims trying to run onto it. Thankfully, Seny was called out just in time to stop that from really being much of a problem. But those are the kind of chances they're trying to get frequently and just not quite measuring that final pass to cause us as much of a problem as it could do. Ilias, that is lovely from you. Ilias is going to try the finesse as well. Ilias Chair is honestly going for the Ballon d'Or. You cannot tell me that Ilias isn't trying to win some form of competition with these goals he's scoring right now. I said to you guys, I want to bring a bit more variety in some of these chances, and hopefully Ilias pulling these off every now and again is doing just that. One absolute screamer. It doesn't tell me how far out it is, but that is just absolute perfection. The way that curls in, it's not quite as much curl as his goal against Hull in real life, but that is a hell of a finish. Absolute beauty. And you know what? I have to take my hat off to him. We're just going to make a very quick change as well. I'm going to take off Linden, and I'm going to take off Hutton, and I'm going to bring on Jones. So the next time the ball goes off the pitch, Jones will make his way onto the pitch. And then I think I'm going to bring on Howe and bring on Clark Salter. Again, just fitness. It'll probably be that there's about 20-25 minutes on the clock, I assume, when the ball next goes off the pitch. But let's not take anything away from that Ilias goal. That is an absolute beauty. He is absolutely smashing him in for fun right now. Ilias Chair, mate, take a bow. Be a little bit careful here. They're trying to push down the wing. I've maybe pulled Pal out of position a little bit. Thankfully, the glancing header just makes its way across the goal and doesn't cause any problems. Those changes you guys saw... I can't speak today. The changes you guys saw earlier being made now, and Jones making his way onto the pitch for his first time for QPR, getting a couple of minutes for us, 20 minutes or so on left of this game, so he'll get a little bit of a chance to play. I don't know that he'll obviously get too many chances. It's been few and far between in this game, but when we've made some chances, we've made the most of them. We've had very few chances, but scored a good chunk of them that we've had, and actually we're going to get the ball straight away. It was kind of more aimed at Willock, sadly. Jones didn't get too much of a chance to push anything. He's only got 3-star skills, so I can't really do too much with him here. But it's going to go to Howe. Dexter Howe, edge of the box. It's going to just go wide. I can't remember if Howe's left or right-footed, but not a bad shot from the edge of the box, really, was it? Again, Sunderland going down the our left-hand side, but really well done again from Rob Dickie. It has to be said, he has been really, really good. He's stepped up massively in this career mode and is pushing really, I'd have to say, for being our best and main centre-back. Lyndon Dykes, edge of the box this time. sort of that looping shot like Ilias's was, but it didn't loop quite enough, and Patterson makes a good save. Only a couple of minutes left on the clock. I'd like to think we can see this one out. We just got to push for that clean sheet now as the main last thing. Oh, it's a good chance there. Aussie caught a little bit flat-footed. Going to try and get it into the box yet again. Rob Dickey with a very, very good little interception just to stop anything really from happening. And Willard's going to try and bring this ball forward just to sort of see this half and game out now. Going to play it inside to Jones. Jones going to try and take it past his man. He does. He's going to have to strike across the goal and finds the back of the net. It's the first thing he's really been able to do for us. And he scores and bags with his first shot for the club. It's absolutely things you love to see. Running right in this game, 3-0 comfortably. And it's another debut goal for another player. It has to be said. It's happened a couple of times now. It happened with Hutton as well, another player that I can think of. But you love to see it. I think we've performed pretty well. First half was a little bit shaky. Obviously, lucky to go in at 0-0 in the first half with that final chance after not many chances either way. But 3 very convincing chances in the second half and a very convincing 3 points as well. That's a really good win. That's a really big win and a great way to start the episode. So I'm very happy with that. The away fans absolutely loving life. And yeah, good way to start the episode today. A much better game than some of the games we had in the last episode. But again, another wonder strike from Ilias to round off. The pick of the bunch for sure of that game in particular. Has to be said, by the way, Stefan Johansson's still the league leader for assists, which is genuinely incredible to see. So I'm pretty happy to see that from him. But yeah, we'll power on and get to game number 2. Going into our second game, and with the mantra of if it ain't broke, then don't fix it. And ain't broke, so we're not going to fix it. Sticking with the 4-2-4, sticking with our strongest 11. Another 5 at the back, because apparently the Championship are simply full of 5 at the back teams. But yeah, hopefully, again, going into this one, up against Connor Washington, QPR fans, you know. If you know, you know. Our first and potentially only home game today, depending on if we get to game number 4 against Stoke. But I can't remember if that is home or away. Just don't remember. Apologies. But yeah, fingers crossed we come away from today sticking with the form, scoring some nice goals. Again, another clean sheet would be lovely. At this point, it's just now a matter of staying clear of the chase and pack. From the last game, we were 13 points clear before kickoff. I have no idea if we're still 13 or if it's more than that now, but all we can do is keep beating who's in front of us. And if we keep doing that, then not only is promotion, but potentially the Championship title is well within our grasp. So that's what we've got to aim for. But let's get into it. QPR versus Rotherham. Come on, you Ars. It's a lovely bit of play there initially. And Connor Washington slices at the shot. Classic Connor. I'm going to say that he's going to score against me now, isn't he? But yeah, that was a bit of a tame shot. Could have been a lot worse for us. It was a really nice bit of play that ended up in not a great shot. And that is a much better shot. It wasn't from Connor Washington. But that was a very nice shot from Konate. And yeah, I'm going to eat some words real quick because that is 1-0. And I'm yet to really touch the ball. I think Seny Dieng and his throw out is the first time I had possession. And all I did was immediately lose it. So really, really nice shot. It's a very, very good finish. You could argue maybe Seny could have done a little bit better. But it's 1-0. And yeah, I'm going to just shut up for a minute because that was poor from me. 1-0. Linden out wide here to Ilias. Ilias back inside to Linden. And it's not the best pass, but Linden's made the best of a bad situation there by keeping possession. Hutton's going to try and turn onto his left. It's a really good tackle. It's a very good tackle. Really good through ball. And, mate, Konate in space. And Seny Dieng. That is atrocious from Seny. What happened there? The ball was beautiful. And the centre-backs have just completely left him. Konate in an acre of space. Look at this pass from Ferguson. It is pin perfect. What is Rob Dickey doing that far out wide? Because Laird is covering the only player that could be out there, and that from Seny is atrocious. That is absolutely diabolical. But that is 15 minutes in, and we are 2-0 down. After such a convincing performance against Sunderland, that is genuinely a shock to me. Willock winning the ball in a really good spot here. Going to play it up to Linden. Linden tries to play it to Hutton, and it's just a poor pass. And that kind of sums up our attacking threat so far this half. Just a little bit half-hearted and just not good enough, frankly. And to be fair, it can sum up the entire team's performance so far because poor in defence, poor in midfield, poor in attack. And so far, Seny, at least for the second goal, pretty poor as well. So we've got plenty of time to try and fix things. Not going to panic just yet. But I think at half-time, depending on how things look, it could be that we have to change things up. Because right now, I'm creating nothing. I'm not causing problems. And they are intercepting every single last pass. And that is stopping. We haven't tested the keeper yet because I haven't got the ball into a position to actually shoot yet. Oh, it's another really good ball over the top. It's going to drop to Connor Washington. And I really shouldn't have said a word, should I? I really should not have said a word because that right there is 3-0. And we have fallen apart. Oh, it wasn't Connor Washington. Okay, well, I don't feel quite that bad. But still, I feel terrible for being 3-0 down. That is absolutely atrocious. 3-0 in the first half as well. And all three have been simple passes. Simple passes. Two of them just over the top through balls. And they've just absolutely demolished us here. The form is out the window. It's 3-0 on the stroke of half-time. Rathbone was the goal scorer, not Washington. And, yeah, I am going to very much need half-time. It's going to be a team talk and it's going to be a team change. It's going to be a change of formation. It's going to be a change of system. Can we maybe get something back? A consolation before half-time? Not quite. Johansson's going to keep it alive. It's going to drop to Chrissy Willock, who's going to have a go. He's going to get a consolation. 3-1. It's still plenty. It doesn't count for 2 if you bag it in again, mate. But that is nothing but a consolation so far. What we've got to make sure we do is in the second half, we make sure that it's not a consolation. All it's done is make the first half look not quite as bad. But, yeah, that is a poor first showing. I think I'm going to have to go to like a 4-3-3. I know that means we lose a striker. The only issue with when things aren't working on a 4-2-4, anything becomes a lot more defensive. Do you know what I mean? Because whatever I change it to now is not as attacking as a 4-2-4. That's just something I've got to bear in mind. So I'm gonna make a change. We'll see how it goes. Okay, I have gone to a 4-3-3 holding. So Sam Field is playing CDM. We have taken off Lyndon Dykes and brought on Dexter Howe. So gone with an extra man in the midfield, and I've left Harvey Hutton on his own up front. Now, my reasoning for going Hutton over Lyndon was the pace, because they've not got a slow back three. Lyndon is not the quickest of players, and Harvey Hutton just offers a little bit more pace up front. And I thought, if I'm going to have someone stranded and on their own, I need for them to be able to make their own runs and create their own opportunities. And although look, we know Lyndon can do that, he scored plenty of goals, I think Hutton is maybe slightly more suited to the opponent we're up against with this back five and with the pace they've got in the back line. So fingers crossed it works out. Again, we've got time. I'm not going to panic. But we do need to get 2 goals sooner rather than later. And I mean, if we could make it 4-3, if we could get the win, obviously that would be preferable. But right now we've got to look at salvaging a point. Lovely win there from Johansson. Johansson is going to get it to Chair. Chair looks up, finds Willock. And Willock at the moment, Willock right now in this game is absolutely our way in. He has been phenomenal in the 4-2-4 and in the 4-3-3. Found himself in great positions, not once, but twice now. The tackle from Johansson, the ball from Chair. I thought Chair had slightly underhit it, and I worried when I hit it first time with Willock, but it did find its way in. 3-2 or 2-3. And, okay, it's looking possible. It's looking possible. Oh, I've left Kanata on his own there. I saw the space I gave him, and that was me. I moved Laird away, so that would have been my fault if a ball had been played through to him there. But Laird's been beaten on that wide position. They're trying to get it central. Howe steps in really well and wins that ball. And now Willock again with this ball to bring forward. Look at the run from Harvey Hutton as well. Going to try and get it in behind, and we do. And Harvey Hutton with the strike and a fantastic save, it has to be said, from the Rotherham keeper. That really was a fantastic save. They're taking Connor Washington off. I'm absolutely okay with that. Okay. Gonna have to make a change here. Gonna have to. And I think what we're gonna have to do is take off Johansson, bring on Amos. I think Dunn for Clark Salter. And I think it's gonna have to be Laird. He's quite tired. I'd love to bring on Lecco. I'd love to bring on Lecco. But I think we're going to be a little bit audacious here. We're going to put a lot of pressure on our new young man shoulder here. Ricky J. Jones, a lot of subs, a lot of changes. That's now all 5. Amos, Clark, Salter, Ozzy, and Jones all coming on. Obviously, Howe coming on at half-time. But these are changes, I think, that make sense with what we're trying to do right now. Ilias is going to be the man to whip this ball in there. Come on. Decent bit of power on that. He's going to aim at Clark Salter, who was close to getting his head in it, but not quite getting his head in it. Ozzy's going to play it back to Dexter Howe. finds Jones. Ricky J. Jones here, trying to be a little bit tricky with that, and I was just trying to draw the player to come out of position, and instead he came out and made a very, very good slide tackle. Luke Amos, oh, that's unfortunate there from Phil to be out-muscled and not keep hold of that. But yeah, we've still got time. There's still 15 minutes. We need a goal at least. 3-3, and I'd be very happy with the comeback. A point from where we were is an absolutely phenomenal pickup if we can get there. And Chris Willock, nearly becoming the hat-trick hero, has to be said. Their keeper's made a couple of very, very crucial but very good saves. And we have been doing our best. We have been knocking at that door to try and get the elusive third goal if we could. Now, come on, let's get this ball in there. Going to put a little bit more power on it. It's gone up to Jones. Jones can't quite get there. It's going to drop to Field on the edge of the box, who is not going to be a man that I shoot with. Rob Dickey loves a good long-range shot in real life, but in career mode, I don't think it's quite his specialty. Going to recycle this. It's going to go to Howe. I just can't find the space right now. Look how many players they've got back. It's going to go to Howe again. Howe. Oh, that's Jay Jones, sorry. Jay Jones is going to get that this time. He's got the luminous green boots, Tom. You can remember that. Ilias Chair. Back to Powell. Just can't find the space to make these passes. Chris Willock going to get the ball in there. Johansson's going to come out and claim it. There's only a couple of minutes left. We have got to really go for this. Got to try and get this ball back. They are just going to take their time. And honestly, I don't blame them. It makes sense for them to just try and run this down a little bit. Sam Field's not going to get there. Ozzy, I don't think is going to get there either. He does. Dexter Howe picks this ball up. Referee's going to let it play on, which is very, very good. Come on. Dexter Howe, this needs to be the absolute cross of your life, son. Oh, it's off the bar. Ilias can't quite get the little touch needed. Oh, that's so unfortunate. That's going to be time, which is fair enough. We got loads of extra time there, which, again, I often complain we don't get given, and the AI get it all. We very, very nearly pulled it off, boys. The great comeback didn't quite pan out. Chris Willock did absolutely everything he could to make it somewhat possible. There's nothing more I can say other than didn't quite pull it off. The first half really shot us in the foot. 3 pretty poor goals to concede. The second one, I think Senny could have done better. The third, and well, definitely the first one, I could have defended a bit better. A little bit let down by the AI defending, but we nearly did it, boys. It wasn't quite to be. Well, it is always disappointing to drop points. However, we are still firmly at the top of the tree, and we're now 16 points clear, despite dropping points, despite losing a game. We're further ahead. So all three, so Millwall and Blackburn must have both dropped points as well then, unless it's that Burnley and Sheffield United haven't played. Maybe, I'm not too sure. Regardless, we are still looking pretty good right now. So all we can do is power on to the third game of the episode. Let's do that. Just very quickly, had 2 emails, both of which informed me of position changes for some of the players in our youth system. Up first, we have Finley Hope, who I've converted from right wing back to right back, and he obviously stays at a 56, but we will very quickly pop him on a development. I just want that defense up as well as the pace. I'll get his acceleration up because his sprint speed's a lot higher. And yeah, just get those defensive stats up and he'll be looking a little bit better in no time. And then we have Teddy Matthews. I'm converting him to play out wide as a left winger because he's left-footed. He goes from 56 to 59, which is fantastic. And let's see, again, we need that pace to be boosted because that is not good enough. Let's be brutally honest. I think I'm going to keep him on balanced because I want his sprint speed and acceleration to both go up. I don't really want to just focus on one or the other. His agility, by the way, is fantastic, 86. But yeah, we'll just have the lot be upgraded for now. I think that's what suits him best. But right now, we are looking pretty good. Matthews being a player that we can call up sooner rather than later. Might do that for next season and then look to loan him out. But we'll have the likes of Bull, Franklin, Kennedy, and Jacob all to probably call up by the end of the season. And then, yeah, McNamara, Goff, I think I'm saying that right. Abreu, Hope, who I'm really looking forward to calling up as well. I think he's going to have a real good time of things once his rating starts to go up a little bit. And then Ramirez, we can get most of these guys called up within a season or two. But all of these guys who are currently 17 or 16 will probably look to call up roughly by next season and then loan out. But we've got a lot of good young potential in this youth system, and I think we really could have a good couple of star players on our hands. The likes of Jacobs could be a great keeper. McNamara looks to be a really, really good midfielder. And then Matthews, I think Matthews could be sick as well. Okay, up against Hull this time around, away from home. And only change I made is Field for Howe. Field is a little bit tired, and you guys know me. I like trying to give these youngsters a bit of a chance because these are players that are unique to our career mode. Hutton, Howe, they're players that you're not going to see in any other career mode. So I love the fact that they add this level of uniqueness to ours. So let's crack on. Let's hope that we can take on Hull and get back to winning ways. Obviously, a little bit up and down right now. Lucky that we've managed to accumulate this really good lead at the top of the table. So when we do have these little blips, it is just a little blip. And it's not like, oh God, we're going to drop to third or we're going to drop down into the playoffs or whatever. It is just that, okay, some of our lead has been eaten into. But obviously, we can't afford to do that too often because if you rely on that lead, then it eventually gets eaten into and goes. So you just got to make sure that you don't rely on it and you keep trying to improve it where you can, or at least be consistent with it. And a win today would help us do that. So let's go for it. Come on, you Ours. Hutton going to play this ball to Linden. Linden holds it up nicely, plays it back to Hutton. Hutton can't quite take it past his man, but the space was definitely there. The perks of playing against a fullback and a 5-back is, although that didn't work that time, that is definitely a scenario we can make the most of. In this game, those little 1-2s, the little space that you'll find in behind, because Howe here is going to try the ball into Hutton. The space is there. Hutton doesn't quite get it past his man, but it is going to be a corner here. We're going to try and whip this one in there. I want left-footed players on these corners, boys. I prefer being able to curl it in from aim roughly the penalty spot and then aim it to the edge of the 6-yard box, because look who's there. Lyndon Dykes. It was very nearly the lead as well, but I much prefer the corners where I can curl them in. I find them much more effective in game. Got to be careful here as they push down our right-hand side to get it to Elder, who's very capable fullback, but we do win it from him, and Howe's going to try and bring it away, but runs straight into Seri, runs into trouble. They're going to try and get it forward to their number 9, but thankfully well stepped in there from Jimmy Dunn, and I've got myself a little bit cornered here with Ethan Laird, who's managed to just about work his way out of it, and Rob Dickey's going to be able to bring this away just a little bit, but yeah, that was nearly very problematic, and it would have been all my own doing by trying to do too much with Ethan Laird. Ball over the top here from Hull. But again, Rob Dickey's going to come out to it, meet it very nicely. And yeah, I have to say, Jimmy Dunn. Jimmy Dunn. I don't know if I said Jimmy Dunn. Jimmy Dunn's been brilliant this game. He has been an absolute rock at the back and hasn't really put a foot wrong yet. And now maybe a chance from that to bring this forward. Gets it into Dexter. That's not Dexter Howe. Harvey Hutton. My brain is not switched on today. Very good save, by the way, but my brain is just not there. Elias Chair going to play it forward. Doesn't quite get it there. But Hutton, nearly gets it past his man. We're a bit of a nearly at the moment. We're not really a great clear-cut chance. It's a lot of, that was nearly a very good chance. And that is happening a lot here. Really good again. As I said, Jimmy Dunn's been phenomenal this first half. He has not put a foot wrong. And half-time, and it's a little bit disappointing. It's not great. It's not been a fantastic showing so far. We kind of have to stick with it, though. I don't want to go to the 4-3-3 just yet. I'll stick with the 2-striker system because the two of them against that back four, I think, could be very good. What I will change very quickly, though, is I think I'm going to set both the wingers to cut inside. Do I want them on free roam? I'm going to have Chair and Willock both on free roam. See if it gives them a little bit more freedom to either cut inside or just find some space, because I'm not getting Willock or Chair as involved as I'd like to. So let's try and offer them that free roam role that they kind of both operate on in real life and see if we can get them a little bit more involved, create a few more chances. And again, the space coming up against a back four instead of a back 5. Hopefully the space appears a little bit more often. And Hutton, I think, has hit Lyndon Dykes with that shot. Oh, that's really bad there from Laird to let that ball drop. I feel so hard done by there. I feel like that's a very unjustified goal. And Jimmy Dunn has not put a foot wrong this game. Stops the ball coming in and then just doesn't get a chance to react to that cross. I've skipped the shot. I'm really sorry. I didn't mean to skip that. That is so frustrating. And that is going to signal our chance to change things. We're going to go to the 4-3-3. I'll be right back. Okay, the change has been made. This time Hutton's going to make way for Field, going to that 4-3-3. So I'll give Lyndon a chance to sort of be the man to stay on in this 4-3-3 system, because obviously last time we gave Hutton that chance. As I said in the last one, Hutton was up against a very quick back line and a back 5 at that as well. Not quite as pacey of a back line this time for Hull, plus it is a 4-man, so our league leading goal scorer in Lyndon maybe has a bit more of a better chance to be as influential in this game, as it's not as many men to beat and it's not as quick a back line to beat. But yeah, again, we are giving ourselves the the uphill task of coming back into games. Look at that. Look at the space. Where is Ethan Laird in that? Where is Laird in that? I've not asked for Laird to do anything other than just stay in that position and stop the chances. And he's in no man's land. He's in absolute no man's land. And just like that, we go from 1-0 down to 2. I can't even work. Look, he's just in the middle of nowhere. And it's Dexter Howe who comes back to make the tackle. Because Laird is in the middle of nowhere. It's not good enough. It's not good enough. Well, this could very easily be 3. Senny Dieng makes a very good save. It's not been Senny's best episode. He made a very, very important save in the Sunderland game. But he's had a very, very tricky episode today, that is for sure. Definitely a goal or two I'd have thought he could have done a little bit better on. But outside of that, he's had a lot to do today. It has been a very, very defence-heavy video for me. It has not been a good one. And this whole game has just been a continuation of that, as it very easily could have been 3 there as well. Linden plays it out to Chris Willock. Linden making a good run in behind it. I've taken far too long to play. That's on me. I didn't play that quick enough. We do luckily win a free kick because thankfully we were fouled in the process of that as well. Chair's going to make the run over the ball and we're going to lay it off to him. Try and get the ball forward a little bit here. Ilyas, we know he's got a long range shot on him. Thank God he does, because that is an absolute worldie of a strike. Ilyas, Chair, honestly, right now, and Willock, their goals today have been huge. Ilyas with a second fantastic goal of the episode and first in this game. It is a lovely set piece. It's a lovely strike. 20 metres out. It's a worldie. Goes straight past the keeper. Nothing he can do about it. 2-1. There is time to get back in this and we need some fresh legs. And although he's just scored a worldie, we are going to take off Ilyas. We do need some fresh legs on there. Going to take off Dickey and we're going to take off Howe for Amos. I think that makes the most sense. I think those changes make the most sense. Lecco and Jones up top as well. Bit of fresh legs, 2 sets of fresh legs up there. There's really not long though. It's only 10 minutes. We've really got to give it everything, boys. Amos bringing this ball forward and absolutely driving to do so as well. And we get the ball to Willock, who can't quite get past this man, but we've got to throw in. Only a couple of minutes left, so I'll let you guys see the entirety of what happens here as this game plays out. Going to get it into Jones. Jones tries to run around his man, has to run around his man because he can't run past him in the middle. Lovely pass with Lecco. Lovely 1-2. A fantastic save. Is that Matty Ingram, I think? I don't know if he's their starting keeper right now, but that is an absolutely enormous save. And now, Johansson. Let's crowd the keeper. Let's crowd the keeper, boys. Come on. Right. Let's give it a go. Decent amount of power in it. It's going to be cleared initially. Get it back in there. Oh, that's not quite where I needed that ball. They're going to play it out. There's not enough time to get the ball back and create something. That is another infuriating loss. It's another chance that we've just gone too far behind, 2 goals deep, and just given ourselves far too much to do. Far too much to do, far late, and it is another very disappointing loss. We've had some lovely strikes from Ilyas, and the thumbnail's going to be very misleading because it's probably going to be me talking about Ilyas Chair's goals, but it's, yeah, it is a bad day at the office. Well, we're going to have to end on a bit of a stinker and sour note, it has to be said. Obviously, at the moment, still sitting at the top of the championship table, 13 points clear, so no worse off than when we started, and that includes 2 defeats. So although it's not an ideal way of ending, at least we didn't fall further down in things. It still means that we have 4 or 5 games, technically, worth of losses in our favour. But we don't want to have to push it to that limit. We don't want to have to push it to that point. And hopefully we don't have to. And we'll find out in the next episode. So thank you so much for watching, guys. If you enjoyed this, then please do leave a like on the video. Supports me, the video, and the channel out a whole bunch. If you're new, hit the sub button and turn notifications on to be told anytime that we upload a video. If you want to watch us on our live streams, it's Hersey Games over on Twitch and TikTok. Links to both are down in the description. And while you're down there, make sure you show some love to the channel sponsors. Thank you again for supporting the channel. But that's it for me. Thank you for watching. I've been Tom. You guys have been awesome. And I'll see you soon. Look after yourselves. And of course, wash your hands in a bit.
Slap bald head, yeah, it'll probably hurt me. Bang top bins, it'll probably hurt you. Ginger, streamer, platform, YouTube. Drop a name in the chat, or say hello. Entertain, yeah, you already know. Capital H, yeah, I'm a read it slow. Hersty Games, yeah, you already know.